guys, we're back together again. It's Winn Dixie. Because of Winn Dixie, and I'm on chapter 23. We know that the party had started. Remember who came to the party? And then we realized that there's some things were happening and they had to go back inside because, yep, you're right, it was raining. It was starting to rain. So right now this party has started, but it's got to go inside. Do you remember those boys that were supposed to come? They're not there yet. I don't know. Let's see what happens. They're going into the house because it's possibly going to rain, and those Dewberry boys are not there yet. Chapter 23. Save the sandwiches, Gloria Dump yelled to me. Save the punch. I got my dog pictures, screamed Sweetie Pie, and she ran around tearing them off all the trees. Don't worry, I got all my pictures. I grabbed the platter of egg salad sandwiches, and the preacher grabbed the punch, and we ran into the kitchen, and then when I ran back outside, I saw that Amanda had hold of Miss Franny Block, and she was trying to help her into the house. Miss Franny was just like teetering on her high heels, and that rain was not helping at all. Amanda had to hold onto her real tight. I grabbed then Gloria Dump's arm. I'm all right, but she put her hand on my arm and held onto me tight anyhow. I looked around the garden before we left, and all the crepe paper was melted, and the candles were all out. And then I saw Otis. He was standing there with his jar of pickles. He was just looking down at his feet. Otis, come on in. Come on, get inside. When we got into the kitchen, Amanda and Miss Franny were laughing and shaking themselves like a dog. What a downpour, said Miss Franny. Wasn't that something? That came right out of nowhere, said the preacher. Woo-wee, said Miss Gloria. Dog, squawked Gertrude. I looked at her. She was sitting on top of the kitchen table. The thunder was really booming and cracking. Oh, no! I looked around the kitchen. Don't worry, said Sweetie Pie. I saved all the dog pictures. I got them right here. And she waved them around with her little magazine pictures. Where's Winn Dixie? I shouted. I forgot about him. I was just thinking about the party, and I forgot about Winn Dixie. I forgot about protecting him from the thunder. Now, Opal, the preacher said, he's probably right out in the yard, hiding underneath a chair or something. Come on, you and I will go look. Hold on, said Gloria Dump. Let me get you a flashlight and some umbrellas. But I didn't want to wait. I was running out into the yard. I looked under all the chairs and around all the bushes and all the trees. I called his name real loud. I felt like crying. It was my fault. I was supposed to hold on to him, and I forgot. Opal, I heard the preacher call. I looked up, and he was standing on the porch with Gloria. And Dunlap and Steve Dewberry were standing there too. Your guests are here, the preacher said. I don't care, I hollered. Come on up here, Gloria Dump said. Her voice was very hard and serious. She shone her flashlight right out at me. I walked up onto the porch and she handed me the flashlight. Tell these boys. Now you tell them that you're very glad that they came and that you'll be right back after you find your dog. Thank you for coming. I just got to go find Winn Dixie and then I'll be right back. Stevie stared at me with his mouth wide open. Do you want help? Dunlap asked. I shook my head and I tried not to cry. Come here, child, Gloria Dump said, and she reached for me and pulled me really close to her, and then she whispered in my ear, there ain't no way you're going to hold on to something that wants to go. You understand? You can only love what you got while you got it. She squeezed me really hard. Good luck now, she called me, and the preacher stepped off the porch and ran out into the rain with me. Good luck, Miss Franny called from the kitchen. That dog ain't lost, I heard Sweetie Pie holler. That dog's too smart to get lost. I turned around and looked back at the last thing I saw, which was on the porch light, was shining, was Dunlap Dewberry. He was with his little bald head. It made me kind of sad, kind of him just standing there on Gloria's porch. His bald head was just glowing. Dunlap saw me looking and he raised up his hand and he waved to me, but I didn't wave back. Chapter 24. Me and the preacher started walking, calling Winn Dixie's name. I was glad it was raining so hard because it made me kind of a little bit easier for me to cry. Because I was crying. And I was crying. And the whole time I was crying while I was calling for Winn Dixie. Winn Dixie! Winn Dixie! The preacher shouted. And then he whistled. And then he really did that a long time. But Winn Dixie never showed up. We walked all through downtown. We walked past the Dewberry's house, the Memorial Block Library. We walked past Sweetie Pie's Yellow House and Gertrude's Pets. We walked out to the Friendly Corners trailer park where we lived, and we looked underneath our trailer. We walked all the way to the Open Arms Baptist Church of Naomi. We walked past the railroad tracks and right on down Highway 50. Cars were running past us, and their taillights were glowing red like mean eyes that were staring at us. Daddy, what if he got run over? Opal, can't worry about what might have happened. All we can do is keep on looking. We walked and walked, and in my head, I started on those list of 10 things that I knew about Winn Dixie. Things that I could write on a big old poster and put around the neighborhood. Things that would help people look for him. Number 1 was that he had a pathological fear of thunderstorms. Number 2, Winn Dixie, he liked to smile using all his teeth. Number 3, he could run fast. Number 4, he could snore. Number 5, he could catch a mouse without squishing them to death. Number 6, he liked to meet people. Number 7 was he liked to eat peanut butter. Number 8, he couldn't stand to be left alone. Number 9, he liked to sit on couches and sleep in beds. Number 10, he didn't mind going to church. I kept on going over and over the list in my head. I memorized it the same way I had memorized the list of 10 things about my mama. I memorized it so if I didn't find him, I would have some part of him to hold on to. But at the same time, I thought of something I'd never thought of before, and that was the list of things couldn't even begin to show somebody the real Winn Dixie, just like the list of 10 things you're really not going to know my mama from. And thinking about that made me cry even more. Me and the preacher looked for a long time. He said we had to quit. But Daddy, when Dixie's out there, we can't leave him. Opal, we have looked and looked. There's only so much looking we can do. I can't believe you're going to give up. India Opal, don't argue with me. I stood and stared at him. The rain let up. It was mostly a drizzle now. It's time to go back. No. You go ahead and go, but I'm going to keep on looking for him. Opal, it's time to give up. You always give up. You're always pulling your head back in your stupid old turtle shell. I bet you didn't even go out and look for our mama when she left. I bet you let her run off too. Baby, the preacher said, I couldn't stop her. I tried. Don't you think I wanted her to stay too? Don't you think I miss her every day? He spread his arms out wide and then dropped them to his side. I tried. And then he did something I couldn't believe. He started to cry. The preacher was crying. His shoulders were moving up and down. And he was making these soft, snuffly noises. And I don't believe that losing Winn Dixie doesn't upset me as much as it does you, he said. I also love that dog. I love him. Daddy, I went and I wrapped my arms around his waist, and he was crying so hard. It's all right. It's okay. I said this to him like he was a scared little kid. Daddy, everything's going to be okay. We stood there, hugging and rocking back and forth. After a while, the preacher stopped shaking, and I still held on to him, and I finally got the nerve to ask the question I wanted to ask. Daddy, do you think she's ever going to come back? No, the preacher said. Nope, I do not. I've hoped and prayed and dreamed about it for years, but I don't think your mama's ever going to come back. Gloria says that you can't hold on to anything, that you can only love what you've got while you've got it. Gloria's right, the preacher said. She is very right. Well, I'm not ready to let go of Winn Dixie. I've forgotten about him for 1 minute while we're thinking about my mama. We're going to keep looking, said the preacher. The two of us will keep looking for him, but do you know what? I just realized something, India Opal. When I told you your mama took everything with me, I forgot one thing, one very important thing that she left behind. What? You. Thank God your mama left me you. And then my daddy hugged me really tight. I'm glad I've got you too. And I meant it. I took hold of my daddy's hand and we started back walking into town, calling and whistling for Winn Dixie the whole time. Guys, when we get back together, it'll be the end of this story. Got 2 chapters. It's a powerful story, isn't it? Kind of makes you wonder, like the things that you love, you can't hold on to them. They choose to stay with you. It's beautiful. I wonder if they're going to find Winn Dixie. We'll see. You guys, I'll see you later.